Uh, Very excited to do this session. Kumar, thank you so much. It is a great, great pleasure to have you because for us, for me, for all of us here, we really look up to you. You're a role model, you're an inspiration, you're heading Intel India, a woman heading Intel India. I shouldn't make that distinction, but somewhere I would lie if I say that distinction is not important and it's not something that is very meaningful to all of us. So thank you so much for being with us today. Just a quick thing, there's been this huge debate, right, women in tech, and when we were naming this panel and we wanted you to be here, is that why this conversation about women in tech? Why do women have this thing or men have this thing about having distinction? Women and men are same in technology, and we don't need to have this separate categorization. But I feel we do need to. I would love to hear your views why you think we should or we shouldn't before we start.
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm honored to be a part of this event. Startups and the entrepreneurship scene over here in India is an exciting one. And just, walking down the hall and looking at all of the booths out there, you can just sense the excitement. And if you look at what we want to accomplish now in India going forward, and the kinds of policies that the government is trying to pursue and all of that, I think we're on the threshold of seeing this area really explode. And so, it makes me feel very excited to be a part of your event here today.
Thank you.
So, women in technology, well, if I look at Intel in India, we hire a very large percent of women because the base that we can choose from in India is very big. You have 50% of college engineering students are female in India. Not so in the US, but in India you have a very large percent of women going into engineering streams, and that gives us a large base to hire from. So at the bottom, the base is very big. And at the top, if you look at tech in India, you've got now many women at the top. Yeah. So what happens? Why do we feel that women are not doing well in tech? It's really that middle, and the leaky pipeline that I think we all have heard a lot about, which of course is not unique to tech, right? You have that leaky pipeline in all industries because the reason you have it are really fairly complex social reasons that are best addressed not just by industry, but a partnership between industry, the government, and in fact even academia. So, I think a lot of companies have a lot of measures and policies and systems in place to try to address this middle, this leaky pipeline, just like we do in Intel.
Okay, sure. So just tracing back from your own journey, you've been in technology, and as you were saying that this pervades the, in the middle level, that women are not coming in the forefront, is how would you trace back? Because you would have gone through all the curves to be women on top. So tell us about your story. How did you do it?
I have been with Intel now 28 years, and I like to share this fact because it will give you a sense of the personal side of me, and that is my older son is 28 years old. So, that means essentially that I raised my family as I was building my career in Intel. And, I find myself actually going back to some of the things that Ravi was talking about. There are things that he said that I feel helped me in my own career, things like persistence. There are times when it feels like life is overwhelming and everything is coming at you too fast and furious. And those are times when all you need to remember to do is to hang in there. I think persistence helps a lot. I think knowing your priorities And understanding and accepting the trade-offs is also very important. And it's not easy to do, but it's very important to do. And I think the third one, again, going back to what Ravi was talking about, I think having a support network of mentors and sponsors is critical, because they help one navigate one's way through a career that can be pretty complex.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Some of the learnings which you had, some of the mistakes that you might have done, and which we all can learn from as we embark on our own careers and our own journey. Would you like to tell us something? It's 28 years in Intel, so some tricks and tips that you can share with us.
Well, I think to all the women in this audience, I'll say one thing, and that is, I feel that guilt is the curse of womanhood. And if there is one thing that I would have liked to have done less of, and that is feel guilty about the choices I was making. And that is something that has been a long, long journey. I don't think it's something you outgrow anytime soon. It's something you work on through the entire time you are going through, raising family and having a career.
Okay, great. So we'll just shift track, and it's a startup event. Would love to get your views on how is Intel looking at startup ecosystem here in India, and how do you look at innovation? Because early in the day, we heard some speakers talk about that innovation happens in small companies and it takes a lot of time in big companies. So how do you see both?
So let me start with the second question. So, Intel has been relentlessly pursuing Moore's Law. And that pursuit of Moore's Law, there is a lot of innovation that has gone into that. Without it, we would have run into the brick wall that everyone has been forecasting now for a very, very long time, right? It hasn't been easy. It's not going to get any easier, but we continue to innovate, and we continue to make, as a result of the innovation, those transistors smaller, more powerful, power efficient, and affordable. And that really is fueling this computing, this pervasiveness of computing that we are seeing today. So I think while it is generally true that large companies tend to have a tough time hanging on to an innovative edge, in Intel, when it comes to developing our architecture and developing our processes that the chip architecture runs on, we've been very innovative. Now, as we move forward, understanding, recognizing new market opportunities, that's where I think we have struggled a little bit, and we've had a few misses. And there are lots and lots of things that we are doing to ensure that we don't have those misses again. Today our vision in Intel is that if it is smart and it connects, it does it best with Intel. And so we are looking to be a part of every single market segment, and that's where you come in. We are looking to all of you to innovate in all those market segments that we want to be in. We want you to use our platform. And in India, as we begin to bring in the manufacturing segment, and as we start manufacturing all the components that go into these electronic devices that today we are largely importing, we want you to do that around the IA platform.
Great, awesome, and we hope a lot more innovation happen. What will be your advice to all the men sitting here in the hall? I see very, very few women. Right?
So I want to ask, how many of you saw Emma Watson's speech, He for She? So those of you who haven't, see it. That she does the most articulate job I've seen of basically explaining why the movement is tending to go in the wrong direction. I think today our dialogue has become too polarized. I think there is too much of women versus men, as opposed to looking at ourselves as being across a range, a broad spectrum of personalities, styles, and values. And to all the men I say, we cannot be successful unless you become a part of the dialogue. So thank you for staying in for this particular item. I really appreciate it.